Okay, I think I've got a message for Democrats, liberals, and everything. We need to stop saying convicted of 34 felonies. We need to stop that. We need to stop because, that's not the main issue with Donald J. Trump. The main issue with Donald J. Trump is selling national security secrets to our enemies, selling the secrets of our allies to our enemies, to their enemies, facilitating wars into other countries, supporting wars into other countries, setting up things that are against everything this country is supposed to be about. What we need to start addressing with Donald J. Trump is not the 34 felonies. Get that out of the vernacular, because the bottom line is those 34 felonies don't hold any water to the 91 indictments and literally having fake electors and a RICO case in the wings with 19 co-conspirators, 6 or 7 of them flip states evidence, emails, text messages directly from Donald J. Trump's burner phones, which are all in the hands of Jack Smith and the investigators. And we need to forget about that 34 felonies, because when people think 34 felonies, they think like, 34 attempted murder charges or whatever. They're not thinking that it's serious because they look at those charges as bullshit, which is fine. I get it. I look at those charges as election interference, which are very, very important and true and very big crimes. All of Trump's people and those people in general don't see it that way. So when you say 34 felonies, they don't care. It doesn't faze them. We need to start focusing on the 10-year-old boy, the 11-year-old, the 12-year-old, the 13, the other 10-year-old, the 11-year-old, the millions of dollars proven to be paid out of Donald Trump's pocket to keep these kids quiet after the assaults and the everything else. We need to start focusing on the indictments for stealing the most sensitive national security secrets. The last minutes before he left the White House trying to declassify the binder, which is the entire investigation into Russia in Crossfire Hurricane, how they gained all the evidence, which there was a lot of evidence and it was proven, but you can't indict a sitting president. Remember that? Bill Barr's bullshit? Anyway, that was all evidence. Why would he want all of that hardcore evidence, over 10,000 pages of that evidence? That binder that was known as the Holy Grail of all intelligence still is gone. It disappeared. Mark Meadows tried to declassify it within minutes before him having to leave the office. He made a copy of it. Mark Meadows showed proof that he made a copy of it. He himself admitted all of this. This information is in the trials that they're trying very, very hard, and Eileen Cannon is trying very, very hard to keep out of the public eye. That's what we need to focus on when we talk about Donald Trump not being a convicted felon. All of that, out the freaking window. Think about that. That's the focus. These are the freaking court cases that are being obstructed, not only by Donald J. Trump, but half of the Republican Party. They are complicit. You know why they're complicit? They're also involved. And on J6, focus on that. The fake electors literally trying to steal the election. Proven. The electors themselves have testified that they were part of this big thing that led right up to Donald J. Trump. The electors themselves. That is what you talk about when you're talking about why Donald J. Trump doesn't need to get back in. Nothing to do with the 34 felonies. Get that out of your head. Get that out of the vernacular. Get that out of the conversation. Because that is looked at as BS. It's not, but that's how they take it. The bigger issues are the bigger cases that aren't yet heard. Judge Chutkan has an opportunity to expose this evidence before the election, and she will, because of this immunity BS passed down by the stacked Supreme Court that is acting against the Constitution of the United States. That is what we need to focus on as Democrats, as independents, as patriots. Stop talking about the 34 felonies. Stop talking about it. Talk about the bigger issues. What he has been proven to have done with children through the Epstein files. The prosecutor for the Epstein trial that gave Jeff Epstein such a sweetheart deal after so much evidence was against him, Doe 173, what is that? Is Donald Trump. There are pictures of him all over the Epstein files. There are documents, there are phone calls, there are proof after proof after proof after proof that Trump was a part of that. And if no one wants to believe that, reminder, Alexander Acosta, the prosecutor that gift wrapped that and kept Donald Trump out of prosecution and kept him as a doe in the paperwork, was given a job at Trump's White House 10 years later. Put that puzzle together. That's what we focus on when we talk about why he shouldn't be in office. His buddy with Putin, his behind-the-scenes deals with President Xi, his Viktor Orban being a regular now down at Mar-a-Lago. And now Benjamin Netanyahu's going to visit him at Mar-a-Lago. Benjamin Netanyahu, the guy who wiped out hundreds of thousands of civilians and calling it a defense against Hamas, is going to his house. Thanked him the whole speech. The Republicans put out a rule. Mike Johnson put out a rule that you couldn't speak negatively against Benjamin Netanyahu when he gave them marching orders in our House of Representatives. The United States of freaking America's House of Representatives. This genocide schmuck that's been killing a whole group of people for nothing. For an excuse that he helped facilitate in the first place. Don't forget, he supported Hamas. He armed Hamas. He financed Hamas. He kept Hamas hanging on. And Hamas was pissed off at us. People, cut it with the 34 felonies. Focus on the things that he hasn't yet been able to be prosecuted for. Because those are the bigger crimes. Those are the more national security fragile crimes. Those are a bigger reason why he shouldn't be in the White House. Cut the freaking discussions about this 34 felonies crap. Stop. Focus on the important stuff. The RICO case, the documents case, the J6 case. Fake electors. How many states have those cases going down? And Donald J. Trump and his cohorts are either named in it as indicted or unnamed co-conspirators, which Donald J. Trump is a part of. That is why he can't get back into office. And that casket at the golf course that he just showed off his ear without even a scratch on it yesterday, that golf course, that casket of the ex-wife that fell down the stairs, I'm sure with a little help, conveniently before 3 days before her and the kids were supposed to testify against him in a business fraud trial. You know, that ex-wife, that casket of a woman who was cremated after being rushed into a Donald Trump doctor autopsy and him refusing to let anyone else autopsy for cause of death and everything else. Yeah, that one. Who was cremated. And the casket took 10 people to carry. I've carried an urn. It's not that heavy. That's what you talk about why Donald Trump can't be president again. Not the 34 freaking felony charges that people debate whether or not they were real crimes. Everything else that's been obstructed and deflected and prevented from being public knowledge were major national security level, keep him the hell away from Washington, D.C. crimes. Focus on that in your discussions in the future on why he shouldn't get back into office. That's the point. You want to play hardball? Play hardball, not 34 felony BS. Stay diligent, stay educated, be kind. We are in this together.